What's up, everybody? It's PJ North, and we are back here at Around the Mat Pod. If you're watching live on Twitch, thank you for joining us. I am your host at the PJ North, and we're so thankful, man. I'm super pumped to be back for episode 12. Can't believe it's been 3 months we've been doing this. And so if you're watching on YouTube today, if it's Friday, hit that like and subscribe button, man. That helps out a bunch. Comment on it, share, tell your friends about it. Last week was our most watched episode, maybe because I ranted about Dave Meltzer. Who knows? But thank you. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'd love to see y'all's comments, feedback. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, thank y'all for checking us out on Spotify or iTunes, man. That means a huge amount to me, man, because I've been doing this music thing for a long time, so it's cool to see people listen to the podcast as I talk about wrestling, something I love dearly. But again, thank you. We are at Around the Mat Pod on all socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all the good ones. So definitely check us out. And with that being said, man, we got a loaded full episode this week. I'm super pumped. I've got some friends coming back, and I've got a brand new guest who's excited to join. We just met recently in Philadelphia, and he became one of my favorite people. And with that being said, let me bring in the gang.
How we doing? What's
my
up, baby?
Guy. So in the bottom left, world famous food influencer, reviewer. What do you call it? But man, shout out to Cody Chows. But Cody, explain to me, if someone asks you, hey, what do you do for a living, Cody? What would you tell them?
You know, I usually just say I do food content, bro. But like, if I'm trying to do like a professional level, I'm like, I do social media for a living.
Okay.
Because right away, I don't like to give it away off the bat. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be like the main focus of my conversation. Sure. But like, you know what I'm saying? If you're into it, I'm like, yeah, shit, that's what I do. Like, I'm a food concierge. Am I saying that right? Is that the word?
Connoisseur, but I know what you mean.
Sounds like dinosaur. That's why I forget, bro.
I love that, man. So big Cody Chows. We met at Mania last week by happenstance. We happened to pull up next to his parking spot, and we took over. And I took over with my man in the bottom right, the ticket god, Freddie Fresh. Freddie, man, glad to have you back. It's been like 5 weeks. It's been a while.
Happening?
I feel like.
I know it's been a while. It's been a minute since I've been on. I'm happy to be back. Happy to talk WrestleMania, talk some wrestling, and
yes, sir.
I'm glad to have you back, man. It's been a while. I know you with March Madness and your job. It's crazy.
Duty called.
Yeah, I get it, man. Someone's got to work in this thing, so I get it.
Somebody's got to do it, right? But back now, and
hell yeah,
ready to do it.
We are Around the Mat Pod. What we do here is we go around the mat. I get to judge everybody's opinions, even my own, giving out points, and we declare a winner at the end of the episode where they get to rant for 60 seconds about whatever they would like. Last week, Danny Tank won again. Man, Danny, every time he's on here, maybe I like Danny. I don't know if that's what it is, but he won. That could be it. That could be it. But we're going to kick it off today with one of my favorite things, as everybody knows. Cody Rhodes is the world champion, the undisputed WWE champion, and the question is Cody's next victim. So I know that we're going into SmackDown on Friday, and we've got LA Knight versus AJ Styles to declare who's going to wrestle Cody at Lyon, France for Backlash. Cody Chows, you're the new guest, so tell us what your thoughts are on the next victim and what you're thinking.
You know, I mean, honestly, at this point, like, it's hard to say between AJ and LA Knight because, honestly, it could go either way. LA Knight won a WrestleMania, but, like, AJ Styles is way overdue, and I feel like it's always been a story of, like, WWE misusing that guy because, like, I used to watch him at TNA. I know what he's capable of, right?
Sure.
So he's getting to the age now as well where, like, he's almost out the door. Like, what is he, like 45 years old right now?
But he looks yoked, right? But he's mentioned that he's out the door too, right? But exactly. Yeah, I agree. 45.
Well, he looks great, bro. Unlike Sheamus, who was gone for months and came back looking like he was just at all the pubs in Ireland. But regardless, between that, bro, I gotta go LA Knight. I gotta go LA Knight, you know?
All right.
I just get that gut feeling.
That's fair. I feel like maybe you wanted LA Knight because we did the thing in your video, and you're maybe just like, you know what? Let me just stick with that. I get it. It's fine.
I mean, other than that, he's also overdue.
He is. Yeah,
he's
really
not going to win it. He's definitely not going to win it.
No, of course not. But I think it's a cool. I think that might be a good match. Freddie, what about you, man? What are your thoughts on that? On the match where they're headed right now?
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, I'm a big LA Knight fan. I wouldn't mind seeing LA get the spot, but I just think that it's going to be AJ Styles. I think with AJ being a heel lately. And, Cody being the biggest babyface that the company has, I just think it makes sense for Cody to face AJ in his first feud as champion. I think they could have a series. I don't think it's going to be a one and done. I could see Cody and AJ having a long feud, which is what I hope.
The only thing about AJ right now is he doesn't have a heater anymore, right? So he can't really he could cheat himself, but it used to be, when he had the Good Brothers and the OG and all that, they could do something like as a heater, but I don't know if he has anything other than to just take that L right off the rip. But I do get what you're saying. What do you think about out of the 6 guys that wrestled in the 2-3 ways? Do either of you guys wish it was somebody else out of those ones that wrestled?
Which 2-3 ways are we talking about?
So
again?
we had Kevin Owens, AJ,
correct.
and was that Santos was the other one, right?
Yeah. Right about that.
Yeah.
I mean, Santos could definitely be a future. I don't know yet about I'm saying like WWE Universal Champion, but definitely Intercontinental or United States Champion, something like that.
Yeah, he's working on it, and I think Legado Phantasm is such a great thing. He's actually a lot better talker than most people give him credit for, and the vignettes that they've done is definitely plays into his favor too because it makes it easier, right? You don't have to cut the promo live; you get this extra chance to show a little personality. Freddie, what about you? Did you have any thoughts on any of the other 4 guys?
No, I think that they went with the right guys. I mean, yeah, you could fill in anybody into the spot and make it work. I mean, Santos could work. I don't think he's there yet, like we were just saying, but I think he can be there.
Sure.
But for right now, I think AJ and LA it makes sense.
The right guys.
Rematch, and so you get that. And I think if they go with AJ, I think he's the best guy right now on the SmackDown side of things.
Yeah.
To have Cody face in his first defense.
Okay. Yeah, man. I'm excited about Backlash because I think it's really cool that they're doing the around the world PLEs and stuff, and Elimination Chamber was way better than I thought it was going to be, right? I mean, we knew it was going to be cool, but that hype to WrestleMania, we're on that hype train, so I am excited to see what they do at Backlash, but I agree. I think it's going to be AJ Styles, and I think because it just makes sense with the heel thing, but I think it's a really cool. Yeah, I think they could do something really good with that. LA Knight, man, unfortunately, he is in that unenviable spot of being super over, but they don't want to put a world title on him, right? I mean, he was super over when he wrestled Roman, right? I mean, top.
Yeah, that was definitely his peak.
Oh, I lost your audio, Cody. No, we lost Cody. Cody, we lost your audio. I don't know. We lost your audio. That's all right. While he figures that out, he's going to figure it out. Luckily for me, I can edit that and post, as they say.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
See, now my car connected to my car connected to my phone. The Bluetooth. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Wait, hold on. Can we pause the time?
Yeah, I can. The good thing about this is I'm in control.
Right now? There is no way. My first time on the podcast, I'm ruining everything.
I'll edit. We could. Now I don't. Honestly, my favorite part is I don't even have to take it out of post now because this is the best part.
I can't even hear anything. This is crazy.
You can't even hear us now?
Driving my car, by the way.
Yeah.
Somebody definitely just stole my car.
Can you hear me now?
I can't even hear anything.
Oh.
I can hear you guys this much, but not enough. Can I leave and come back
yes,
in?
100%.
This is chaos.
Amazing.
Hold on. Let me back in.
Oh, man. Cheers to that, Fred.
Hey, technical difficulties. We'll be right back.
Yeah. You know what's so great is I made a picture for that last week because.
Oh, yes.
How's that? That's amazing.
Ooh. Can you hear now?
Dude, I was like, what is going on? Okay.
Incredible.
On the go, it says on the go is an audio only call for you with large, easy to press buttons. Sure, go.
No, we don't want that. Go back. Now go back. Whatever you were doing.
I don't even know why it's doing that now. What is going on?
We're getting just Cody's vocal now. I love it. That's okay.
Oh my goodness. There's no way right now.
This is why we get a professional. Look, we get a professional social media guy.
Yeah, I know. Dude, yeah, but that's the thing. Half of the time, I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, you're good. It's all good. Like I said, all I was saying, back to the whole. I don't even have to take this out in post because it's really great. The whole point is Cody. I am very excited for Backlash. I think AJ's the right guy. The LA Knight thing we were talking about. The LA Knight thing I think is so crazy is how over he is. But it's just do they really want to put the title on that? He's not quite over enough where he's a world title guy. He could be a world heavyweight championship if you're calling that the B title. I still don't call it the B title, but if you're calling it that, he could be that guy. They're not ready to take anything off Cody. The Cody bloodline thing I think goes for another what do you think? 8-9 months, Fred, at least until till Rumble next year, right?
I can see that.
Yeah, I would say that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
so I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great. Cody's next victim is hopefully AJ Styles. I think it's gonna do a lot of stuff. Like you said, I think they're gonna have a trilogy maybe because that could be kind of cool. Yep. They could wrestle and then maybe AJ does something illegal. It doesn't win, but maybe
Yeah, they got to throw something else in there to be like, so it's not just like Cody beating him. They got to make us think that he's.
That's kind of my thing, right? Is that hopefully they'll find another heater for him with that. So I'm excited about that part. All right. Any other comments before we move on, Cody? Now that
but I just will say this one thing. It is weird that now after AJ turns heel, they break up the Good Brothers and him. When really it would make more sense to have them with him as a heel, not as a babyface.
Yeah, they really missed the boat on that deal,
I don't know why they did that. And it's not like the Good Brothers are these amazing baby faces or something.
No, they're
like that,
terrible baby faces. They're honestly the worst baby faces.
It would have made more sense to have them together now, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that they probably prematurely did that. Not sure where they were. Maybe they didn't know where they were going at the time. Maybe I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah. What about you, Cody? Sorry.
Yo, when you're talking about the Good Brothers, who is that? Am I tripping?
The OC Bullet Club, the OCBC.
Yeah. Was that? Yeah, but did they go by different names?
Gallows and Anderson. Yeah, they used to go by the club or the OC or whatever.
And the OC, because that's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah. And I'm like,
sorry, I'm so used to calling. I think there's so many nicknames for them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cody's like, I don't even know who that was.
Yo, let's just go with Festus.
Yeah, Festus. There you go. Festus and MGKA. I love it.
Yeah. God,
that's good stuff. All right. Well, next here is next women's champion. Man, as we move along, I think the women's champion thing, and Freddie, I'll let you kick it off. But just to highlight for those if you don't watch, right? They took Rhea is hurt. She's gonna be out for a few months. They took the title off of her, and Liv is getting all the heat for that, which is really cool because I think it makes the most sense the way that they're doing it for both of them, and I really like that. But Fred, what are your thoughts, man? Who's the next women's champ, and what's your thoughts on the situation?
Yeah, well, first off, the situation sucks. I mean, obviously, it's a shame, that Rhea is out. I mean, I know she'd been dealing with the wrist injury,
sure.
But, she worked through it, and now this, especially on top of Becky being off TV for a period of time and Seth being off of TV, and, Rock is obviously gone and Roman's gone. All these people, you know what I mean? So it kind of sucks right now, but, injuries happen when, there's never a good time for them, right?
Sure.
As far as who's going to be the next women's champion, I mean, is the obvious choice Liv? I guess so. But sometimes, I don't know if that's just too obvious.
I was talking to my girlfriend about that too, and I was like, "Who are you?" I was like, "Hey, who do you think's going to be the women's champ?" Because she's, she's fully invested now, right? She's like invested in the whole thing, and so she's like, "Who is?" And she's like, "Who are the options?" And I was like, "There's Nia, there's Natty, there's now the thing they're doing with Indy Hartwell and Candice, and there's Liv, and that's why I think the question, values. I think there's so many options. Liv is the obvious choice, but Nia is like might potentially be an obvious choice too, right?
Well, I could see Nia being it. The weird, and I could have seen Nia getting it, and then Liv as the babyface chasing her.
Sure,
but Liv seems to be going the heel route now, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. I could still see a Liv and Nia program. But I don't know how they would necessarily go about that. Also, we don't know how they're even going to do it. They just said that.
That was really silly, right? Why did they do it? I was
thinking about that actually too.
What I would have done is I would have had the Queen of the Ring tournament that's coming up. At the end
you
of
mentioned
May
that in the chat, and I thought that was a great idea.
Be for the women's championship instead of the Queen of the Ring. Who gives a shit about that? Make it for the vacant women's title.
They're doing that in Riyadh, right? Riyadh or whatever. They're doing that in Riyadh.
No, is that Riyadh? Riyadh is usually the November one.
Oh,
it might be Jeddah, whatever.
Jeddah, okay, gotcha.
But I guess it does make a difference.
To me, it doesn't. I don't.
Right? No, me neither. So I'm curious to see what they what they do with that, and how they go about it.
Cody, what about you, man? Who are your thoughts on the next one?
I want to go with Liv, but at the same time, it's like, how are they just going to throw it in our faces that she's going for the title and then it actually happens? I feel like that'd be way too predictable. But at the same time, maybe that's what they want us to think. Our boy Paul Levesque, he's cooking up. He's at work.
Triple Paul.
Exactly. I'm saying lately it's been like that. Wondering what really is going to happen.
Sure.
How it's going to go down. I mean, I'm saying either Nia or Liv, but I mean, who else besides that would be champion? You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be Zoe. It's not going to be Shayna. You know, it's
Yeah,
not
that's the
going to be
thing, man. And I think
Maxine,
Shayna would be great, but it's so out of the blue, and they haven't built her at all. And I think people don't. I think if you're a wrestling fan, you connect with her, but like as like a WWE fan, I don't know if people connect with her the same way. Like she's a badass,
she doesn't
right?
have enough. Like I mean, listen, her promos aren't terrible, but like they're not great either.
Sure.
Like, she doesn't have enough hype around her. You know, like
right.
Really, those are the only two choices. Like that's what any sane person would say. I feel.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Especially because they're not going to take one from.
Probably also going to say like Jade Cargill, even though she's on SmackDown.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, if you have to take somebody off of SmackDown maybe to do it, it's just not long enough. Rhea's not going to be gone long enough, right? Where it matters. She's only been gone 3 months, right? So it's not like we're talking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's going to be gone that long. So.
I think they re-debut her at. I think that maybe Liv does win, and then Liv's fighting someone at SummerSlam, and Rhea comes out and maybe messes shit up.
Yeah, that could happen.
That could be kind of fun. I don't know. My thought is, I like I said, I think Liv is going to win, but I think Nia could potentially win too, and I do think that they should have went with some other way to do it other than. I thought they announced like a 4-way, right? I think that's what they did. They announced a 4-way for the title. Is that what I saw?
Did they?
Maybe that what. I just saw a graphic of the title and said a new women's champion.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I may have mistaken. I may have mistaken. With Twitter, you don't never know, man. People put shit out there that I think is real sometimes. I'm like, wait a second, this is not right.
That's like AI, bro. They make a video of like
make it crazy.
About it,
yeah, it's crazy. Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the women's division too is really peaking right now. I think the better singles wrestlers, however, are on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But the better tag teams are on Raw. I think the Kabuki Warriors thing's got to end at some point. I love all of them individually, but I hate it as a. I don't love it as a group right now. But nonetheless, point being, so I don't know. I think it'll be exciting though to watch Raw. Right, we're getting another women's champion. Should be kind of cool. And Rhea, that pop when Rhea comes back. This is my brutality hits. Oh baby,
God,
she was already leaning.
Yeah,
as a baby face, right?
Yeah. She basically is a baby face. Like she says some.
She's gonna be a full blown baby face when she comes back.
Yeah. Plus, Judgment Day will be broken up by then, bro.
Sure,
they'll be broken up.
Sure, it's crazy. What did we do here? What happened here?
Oh no, Fred, he'll be back.
Oh no, we lost Freddie Fresh.
Oh
man, what a day! What a day for production value out here, man.
Hey, maybe it wasn't me. I don't know, man. I'm saying
it could be my Google meeting. I don't know. I've got the CPU rate down. I don't know.
Hey, you know what though? This is a new one for me, man. I'm saying like
this
is so very well orchestrated. I'm saying it ain't your fault.
Google Meet letting me down today. Fred has not texted me. Let me see if I can let him back in here. Oh no. There we go. Did we get Freddie back?
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
That's all right, Freddie.
Oh, hey, we traded spots, man.
Oh, now I gotta go back and fix that here. Hold on here.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, now we've lost all hell hath broken loose.
2 hours later,
as Freddie would say to me, "Listen here, you hick."
Right. Where did you say you're originally from again?
Man, I'm from Ohio originally, Columbus, Ohio. Moved to Nashville, Tennessee to pursue music full time. Ran out of talent. Ran out of money. Got a job, left that job, did the whole thing. And now I work, do the music thing, do the podcasting thing. And we are back like I never left in the first. All right, I apologize. Everybody, if you're watching on Twitch, thank you all for sticking around. If not, and you didn't see this, I'm going to only post that we just
There's nobody left watching on Twitch.
Nobody left watching. Look, they watch Kai Cenat, do nothing all day. So they got
exactly right.
I am baffled by the whole thing, honestly. I've talked about this. I am baffled by the whole I don't understand it at all. So for me, it's
name, bro. They'll watch you take a dump, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, what are we doing here?
Will watch, right?
All right. Nonetheless, we are back. All right, we're back. We got this, baby. All right. Topic 3, and I got the clock fixed same time. That's how good I am at this, baby. AEW Dynasty, and I'm gonna give my thoughts, and then Cody, we are gonna go to you because I know that we talked a little bit about this. So as we do this, Cody, first, you're not an avid AEW watcher, is that right?
No.
Okay. But you're aware of the things that are going on, and you get
I know some stuff. But...
Okay, but you get it, right? So
yeah, of course.
My thoughts on AEW Dynasty, and I've talked about this with really everybody. I love AEW, and I loved it at the beginning. But I have constantly criticized some of the things they do, even as a wrestling fan. I'm a true wrestling fan in the sense of, like, I watch a lot of New Japan, and the storylines don't ever even intersect sometimes. You just have matches, and I love that about it. It's very Kings Road-esque. They do a lot of that stuff. There's amazing. There are good storylines in AEW. The problem is they have way too many weird things going on constantly to confuse everybody. AEW Dynasty, however, I do know this for a fact. The pay-per-view will bang. It will be long. There will be too many matches, but it will bang. I'm 100% sure that. And for me, that's the buying point, right? Will Ospreay versus Danielson, Samoa Joe versus Swerve, Bucks versus FTR. I'm excited. So I think for me, like, that's the thing about Dynasty is that I'm very excited about where it's the way that they do pay-per-views. The only thing that sucks is that I do wish that, like, they would just kind of control some of the chaos that they have for, like, no reason. Like, we were talking last night in the chat, Fred, right? Like, with the overrun. Like, why did they do the overrun there? Like, people, I'm going to be honest with you, people turn it off. They're just not watching. And, like, that segment with Samoa Joe should have replaced the Jericho segment. The Jericho hook thing, you know, WWE does this thing where and I'm not comparing the two, but WWE does this thing where they just stop doing a storyline if it's terrible. They don't tell you why. They don't tell you how. If it sucks, they just stop doing it. Am I right? Yeah. AEW should do that. They should learn that not a single person on the planet wants to watch Jericho versus Hook. Yeah. They just don't. I don't want to watch it. And Hook does this weird there's one thing that Roman Reigns does that I hate more than anything. It's that thing where he licks his teeth because he has veneers, right? So he's like does this thing all the time, and it is the most annoying thing of all time. And
when Rhea does it, it's hot.
Dude, she's like licking her teeth though with her smile out. He's doing this thing like, and Hook did it last night, and they were like zoomed in on and I was like, I would rather burn this TV to the ground than ever see that segment ever again. I said it was the worst segment I've ever seen. So for me, AEW Dynasty, like I said, it's gonna bang. I'm very excited about it, but there are certain things that I wish it was driving to. I do hope Swerve wins. Again, I'm an Okada guy. Everybody knows that. And so I'm excited to see the Rainmaker, on pay-per-view. It could be cool. But Cody, again, you are not an AEW watcher, so tell me what your thoughts are just overall about AEW. Just give me your, So I have some clips to tell people. Cody Chow's hates AEW, and WrestleZone will post it. All right, hold on.
I got a little stuff.
Wrestling Observer Radio is going to post. Famous food influencer hates AEW, and then they're going to use this clip.
God. And listen, they've seen much worse from me, bro, so I'm pretty sure they wouldn't even care at that point. So Dynasty is the name of the pay-per-view, right?
Right.
Okay, because it sounds like the 50 million shows that they have throughout the week. Where they have Dynamite, and then there's Collision,
and
right?
Rampage.
And is there another one? Is that
Rampage on Fridays?
And Rampage, right? Yeah. So you have 3 things during the week. As you said, they have all these storylines going on that make no sense. They're putting Samoa Joe against Dusty Rhodes. It's like the finishing the story on Temu type shit, right? So. And you know what the thing I hate the most about AEW is? It's Tony Khan. That's what I hate.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, I knew it.
That's what I hate the most. He's the
Jesus Christ.
He's the biggest crybaby. He pretty much he's digging themselves deeper by putting up that footage of CM Punk, which he thought he was going to do something. But now, number one, nobody really gives a shit. Excuse my French. And number 2, it just makes you look bad and petty because then you're here like, oh, I was afraid for my life at a wrestling show, bro. You weren't even in the footage. How were you afraid of anything, right?
It was not.
He just made it seem so much worse. The creative it's just not there.
Fred has never been happier to have a guest on this show. Fred has never been happier to have a guest on this show.
God, I'm saying, but see, listen, it's good for wrestling at one point, but at the other end of the spectrum, it's not like WCW, like Monday Night Wars, right? WCW had some really good stuff going on back in the day. AEW is kind of like their biggest thing is MJF, but then they also have a bunch of unused talent like, Malachi Black and was it Buddy Murphy, right?
Yeah, Buddy Matthews, yeah.
You have Buddy Matthews, right? And then you got, even people like Orange Cassidy and like Hook and, even Darby Allin, like they're just not using these guys right and they're wasting their time doing all this. They put on great matches, but at a certain time, Tony Khan just ruins it all for me. I don't even want to support it,
That's fair. Yeah, and we'll keep the clock going. I'm gonna Fred, so don't feel. I think to your point, we talked about the wrestling thing, the wrestlers wasting time. I saw a thing today. The payroll for WCW. I guess they were sued by something, and they had to post all of their contracts. You guys got to see this. It is. I'm gonna post it here. I'm gonna break it up into 2 pictures. I'll post it here on YouTube. It is wild. And my first thought was, Barry Darsow was making $160,000 a year in 1998. Does anyone know here? Do you guys know who Barry Darsow is?
Yeah.
He was Smash, right? So he was Smash and Demolition. And I was like, they paid that man $160,000. He didn't wrestle. He was like a bunch of different terrible things on WCW. But my point is that AEW is paying all these guys, and like I think they feel like they have to get them on TV. So they do these weird segments constantly, or triple threats, or six-mans, and I'm like, man, at some point, like on Dynasty now, I just saw that on 0 Hour, it's Katsuyori Shibata and Orange Cassidy versus Shane Taylor Promotions. And I'm like, Shane Taylor Promotions was cool in Ring of Honor, when Ring of Honor was maybe at its worst of all time, but Shane Taylor, he had a cool thing going. This is terrible. I don't want to watch. I watched it last night, and I don't want to watch it again. And I'm like, again, and it's creative is subjective. That's a Jeff Jarrett thing, but like, what are we doing? I don't. There are some things like that. So I do agree with you, Fred. What about you, man? You watch again. So just to preface, Fred does watch AEW, but Fred hates Tony Khan.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's actually a d-bag.
Go ahead, Freddie.
Yeah, no, I watch Dynamite. I mean, I don't know if I'll say every week, but mostly every week. Really, I watch Dynamite. Yeah, I mean, Tony Khan, I think, is a piece of shit. But
yeah,
if TK, if you're watching, I have never ever called you a piece of shit. I'll bleep that out on Instagram.
Oh, I'm sorry, Instagram. But no, I just, he makes me not want to like AEW, and sometimes AEW makes me not want to like AEW. But it's with them, it's just an inconsistency. There's weeks that I'm like. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's weeks that WWE is better than others. I think WWE's been hitting on all cylinders for the last several months.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's times when not everything WWE does is a grand slam. Obviously. Sure. But the inconsistency of AEW,
that's the problem. 1,000% inconsistency. They hit like 8 or 10 times a year because the pay-per-views, right? They got 6 or 7 pay-per-views now. They've got some dynamites that hit, but like the inconsistency is that's a good way to put it.
I will say, I mean, I'm sure Dynasty will be great because their pay-per-views usually don't miss.
Yeah.
It is just as Sheamus would say, banger after banger after banger.
Yeah.
I can't deny that. Their pay-per-views deliver. But getting to the pay-per-view sometimes is more important than the pay-per-view itself.
That part is the biggest thing, is like, how do they get people to buy it that aren't fans already?
But they're not. That's the thing. They're not. But they don't care. It doesn't matter because it's to Tony Khan. It's not a business.
Sure.
He's playing with monopoly money here. He's just having fun. He
really is like a fan more than anything. You could tell by the way he talks to about the wrestlers.
He's just a fan that has money that is able to play.
Which is okay. Which honestly, that's not a bad thing, right? Billy Corgan is the same way. Billy Corgan is a fan of wrestling. Same reason he bought into TNA back in the day. Same reason he owns NWA now. He's a fan and he has money to do it. Tony Khan, the biggest thing is like from a creative perspective, he's just not that creative of a guy. Like that's probably what he lacks. Like I work in the creative business. I am creative constantly every single day. I don't know that he has enough people around him that are telling him, "Hey, this is a bad idea."
Right.
Don't
and that's
do
what
this.
he needs. He needs.
Sure.
I mean, I know there was talk that Daniel Bryan was getting involved, which I'm shocked that Daniel Bryan. I mean, again, it's Tony Khan's decision, but I'm shocked that Daniel Bryan agreed with airing that footage.
And that's the thing too, is like the whole CCTV thing, and we talked about this, and I went on a rant last week about it. I think it was silly and it doesn't make a lot of sense. He also supposedly got in trouble because you can't share footage of people without sign off or something like that. There's some thing from I don't know. It was a whole but everybody got hit with a copyright directly after it happened, right?
It's security footage.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was. So there may be an issue there because it's not like it was AEW footage.
Right.
They taped that Punk.
Yeah, WWE would have had a camera going. Somebody would have been in the back with the camera like, hey, we're going to get this just in case we decide in case we try to burn this thing. In case we decide to burn this down Ultimate Warrior style to self-destruct, let's get a video of this. I do think, like I said, so before we go, just 2 questions. One, I'll ask everybody, who's going to win these 2 matches? And you tell me, Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson Swerve versus Joe. Fred, who you got in those two matches?
I think Ospreay's going to win. I don't think he's going to lose his first pay-per-view.
Okay.
And, the world title, that's an interesting... a lot of people think it's Swerve's time. I don't know if Joe's ready to lose the title yet. I know everybody thought he would be a transitional champion, which he may still be, but
Sure.
I don't know if I would take it off of him. But you know what? Swerve is kind of hot right now, so you know what? Fuck it.
Sure.
They got nothing else going on. There's nobody in their buildings. What the hell matters? Try
Here
it.
we go.
Just fucking try it.
All right. You know
All
what?
right.
You had
To be
me until you
honest.
started complaining about
We're
selling
gonna
tickets.
go
I'm
with
taking that
Swerve.
point back. All right, you're going Swerve.
Whose house?
Swerve's house. All right, Cody. Two matches, man. Ospreay, Brian, Joe.
I'm
Swerve.
going the same thing as him, bro. You're saying Swerve, Fred?
Yeah.
I'm saying Swerve too. Yeah.
Okay.
Because how old's Joe now, bro? How long has
40
he got
plus.
left?
He's in
Yeah.
his 40s.
40
40s,
plus.
Yeah, I'm saying, bro. Like, start giving it to the younger dudes. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
at least if Tony Khan had half a brain or even quarter of a brain, then he would.
Yeah, they've
You know what I'm saying?
missed on the Swerve. I think Swerve should have won the first time anyway. They've missed on the last 3 opportunities
Well,
for him to win.
but once they win, it makes it a lot more sweeter, kind of like Kobe's.
Oh,
deal,
1,000%.
you know
But
what I
it's
mean?
look, we talked about this when I was at All Out with a bunch of other of our buddies in Chicago 2 years ago, and the Acclaimed didn't win, and then they won at the Arthur Ashe
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
I get it. But, bruh, you're on pay-per-view. Give me that payoff, dog. Don't give me that Wednesday night pay. Nobody.
I know.
That's some
I hate
WCW level
when they do
bullshit
that,
right there.
yeah.
So I don't, I'm saying, I think Swerve, I've got Swerve and Will Ospreay. Here's what I've said about AEW, and I hope that they can do this. They have so many great talents that I hope they trim a lot of the bullshit and then focus on those guys. You have a 2-hour show on Wednesday. That's enough time. You don't have any 3-hour shows. So, you can do the 2-hour stuff that WWE does really well, that they used to do really well on SmackDown. SmackDown's a little flat, but whatever. There's a lot of shit going on. So, but my point being is that there's a lot they could focus on those guys that they have now. Ospreay, Cash Gignoli, Bryan Danielson, Edge, Orange Cassidy, Kenny. They have so many guys that they can do this with, and I just think that they do miss on a lot of things. I hope they get that fixed. But nonetheless, it is what it is in AEW Dynasty. All right, we're on the next one. On to the next thing. This is one of my favorite things. This is the randomizer. And no clock on it. We're just going to chat about it, and I like to know, and I like to give out points based on whether or not I like your thoughts. But the question is your first memory as a fan of wrestling. So whether it was your first event or the first time you watched it on TV that you remember, your first figure, whatever it was, what is your first memory as a fan of wrestling that kept you to where we are now, still talking about it, at our age now as it is? Cody, start with you, man.
This is the weirdest, most random thing ever. Do you remember when Batista was in the ring with that one fitness guy, and he's like, "Oh, check out my drink."
Simon
And then
Dean.
He drank it, right? And he started bouncing his pecs or whatever. Why is that the first thing I remember, growing up being a fan? Because then I look back at him, dude, Batista was so jacked. You know what I mean? And it appealed to me. You know what I mean? Because even the one time, this is another time that I really wanted to get into it. I don't remember because I was probably 4 years old when I really started watching.
Okay.
But I remember we walked into McDonald's one time, and my dad saw this random guy, and he's like, we were at McDonald's. He's like, "Oh, that's Scott Steiner." What the hell?
Big Papa Pump?
It
Holla
wasn't Scott
if you hear.
Steiner.
Do you think he just ordered his McDonald's and he's like, "Holla if you hear me"? And everyone was like, "Sir, we got your 20-piece nugget
I'm
order."
saying, I got the Big Papa Pump shirt right here, bro. Look at this.
Let's see it. Okay.
Oh, I have that shirt. That's a good
Oh, you
one.
do?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you all my freaks.
Okay.
Holler.
I got a couple.
You hear me?
I got a couple Scotty shirts.
Okay,
Bro, but
so
it wasn't Scott Steiner, but after that, it was an iconic memory for me. That
your dad. Oh, so it wasn't actually.
No, it was just some tan jacked guy. But ever since then, I don't know, it just stuck with me. You know what I mean? I thought that was cool.
So how long have you been a fan? How many years?
Oh God! I mean, listen, I remember playing the PlayStation 1 games way back in the day.
Yeah.
I was probably 5, 6 years old at that time.
Okay.
I would say anywhere from 2002 to 2003.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of the
So you're
memories.
20 years now, man. 20 years as a fan. It's awesome.
Yeah, we are deep, bro.
Okay.
Fell off a little bit towards the shitty era in the late 2010s.
Yeah.
2010s. But other than that, yeah, I've been pretty
Hell
consistent, bro.
Okay.
Wrestling life.
Freddie, what about you, man?
Yeah, it's funny. So I started watching WCW, actually, not WWE.
Right.
for a few months, and then everybody was like, "No, you got to watch WWE." So the first thing I remember on watching Raw, I finally decided to put Raw on, and I don't know if it was the first thing I saw or not, but it's the first thing I remember. Is the segment with Austin in the ring, and McMahon is in a wheelchair on the ramp, and he says, "I couldn't hear what you said because you got 17,000 people calling you an asshole."
Oh yes,
It's
yes.
an iconic, but that's the first thing I remember, and
Sure.
ever since then, I never stopped watching Raw.
Heck yeah.
So whether that was the first memory of me watching WWE,
No, but that's your
or
first
not,
memory as a fan that
but
you
I can
remember. So that's great.
you know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's yeah.
So
that's
how long?
like
What's your
all
fandom? What are you at? 25 years now? 26?
yeah, it'll be 26 in the fall. I started in the fall of '98.
Heck yeah, man, it's crazy.
You know.
Yeah, I've been a fan since, and I'll be honest with you, I can remember. I've been a fan that I remember going to the Columbus Convention Center in Ohio. My parents took us, and we sat dead center. I'll never forget. I remember this vividly. We sat dead center, and that's back when they didn't have an entrance ramp on house shows. So this was old school, right? This is like 92, 90, early 92. And there's the aisleway, and we're dead center. We're like probably what would be 300s at most places, right? But it's me, my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad. And I don't remember any of the things except for Bret Hart, right? I do remember that very vividly. But the first thing I do remember that I have the memory of, and I can remember it vividly, is Royal Rumble 93. Yokozuna beating Macho Man, right? And winning that was unbelievable. So for me, 93 was when I got into it, which is crazy because WrestleMania 9, I watched that live with our next door neighbor. I've been a fan for that long. For 31 years, I've been a fan, I feel like, and my fandom's grown. So it's pretty crazy to think that in the different generations that you get into, some people get into, it's the best generation. I loved, at 90, when I started watching, then I watched everything I could. WCW, USWA. We had ECW on this bootleg channel on one of my I had like a 19-inch TV in my bedroom, and I could get like on Sunday afternoons on channel 19, which was like some whatever channel on the antenna, I could get ECW, and I saw the Gangsters. I remember that in like 96, 97, I guess. So just my fandom's been kind of crazy since then. So it's one of my favorite things. But all right, we got a new segment. Thanks to my man Cody Chows who came up with this idea. They've done this on another pod, which was a great idea. I saw it, and I am stealing it. And we're calling it Guess That Wrestler. 20-question style. We're going to start off with Cody's going to ask me a question. I'll say yes or no. I know who the wrestler is. If you get it right, you get 5 points. So the first person to guess it right gets 5 points. I am, of course, ineligible because I made the wrestler up. So we will start with Cody. 20 questions start now. Cody, who you got?
All right. Still active.
Yes. Freddie? Oh, and I should preface this. There is a hint. I do remember. My hint is, I should have said this. The hint is he is a tag team wrestler who's never won singles gold in a major promotion. So that's the first guess. He's mostly known as a tag team wrestler. And Freddie, now you can ask your question. Sorry.
Mostly known as a tag team wrestler, never. Okay. Now you said it's still active.
Still active.
Was he on Raw on Monday?
No.
Ooh. So he said he's won tag team titles, right?
He has won tag team titles, yep.
Oh, boy.
Everywhere.
Was he active in the 2010s?
Yes.
Fred, you're up, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Was he in a... So he was in a famous tag team, or was it a makeshift tag team?
Famous tag team.
Famous tag team.
They're mostly known as tag team wrestlers, I should say.
Wait, now there.
Yeah, but you're guessing one, but they, as a team, they are mostly tag team wrestlers. You still get to ask a question. You don't have to. You don't have to.
I thought we were taking turns.
No, you are. So now it's your turn to ask a question.
Oh, yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, it's still your turn, Freddie. That doesn't count as a question because I said that part.
Okay, I did. Okay.
And he wasn't. So he wasn't on Raw on Monday. He was during the 2010s. Yes, he won titles everywhere, and yes, he's still active.
So was he a multi-time tag team champion?
He is a multi-time tag team champion.
Was he ever in a different promotion?
He has wrestled everywhere. Except for AEW.
Except for AEW.
I think. Wait, maybe AEW. He might have been for a sprinkle of a second. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But yeah.
Fred, you're up.
Okay. All right. What was he on SmackDown last Friday?
No.
So
he is active, but he hasn't. I'll answer this just because you've asked that. He has not been active on TV very much recently, but he is active.
What?
It's so funny because I want to give.
Wait, why do I feel like? Hold on. Is he part of the OC?
Yes.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Luke Gallows.
It is Luke Gallows.
Let's go, baby. Yes. Got it.
Oh, man. I wanted to say, because you mentioned Festus earlier, and I was like, damn, this is going to take it away.
Yeah,
it's so funny that you just mentioned it, and we talked about it. The reason I picked him is so funny is because the AJ thing, and I knew, Fred, we were going to talk about them breaking up the OC. So, kind of crazy. So Luke Gallows was the answer. Very good. Very good. And I don't remember. They didn't stop in AEW, did they? They just went to New Japan.
I don't even remember them being in AEW.
That's why I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
They may have done one shot in
with
AEW.
I think with New Japan they did.
When didn't they go back to Impact?
Oh, maybe during the Impact thing. That could have been when it was. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
All right. Well, this is another fun one, and it is one of my favorites, and it's trivia time. And you call yourself a fan.
WrestleMania font.
All right, we are back. That's right. It is a WrestleMania font. Thank you. That's right. The old school one. That's right.
I don't know. Y'all got some years on me, bro. Let's just hope you ain't asking no questions.
These questions are old. They are before you got into it, Cody, which makes it even more fun.
Okay.
I should say also, I did forget. I'm so sorry. I forgot to give Cody Chow's got 5 points there. So, Freddie, you got to do some work here on the trivia because these are all before Cody was born.
Okay.
All right.
Listen, I know some old stuff. I think
it is trivia time.
God, I used to have this game.
Yeah, and so Fred, you haven't got to play it yet. Since we did the trivia thing, you haven't got to play yet, which is they're kind of fun. So just for everybody's awareness, it's a point for each question. Some are multiple choice, some are you have to guess. Some are locations, wrestlers, all types of things. A point for each correct answer, and it starts with at the October 1995 in your house. Who was Diesel's opponent? British Bulldog, Mabel, or Undertaker? Freddie?
British Bulldog.
Cody?
I was going to say British Bulldog.
Okay. And I will also say British Bulldog. And I have not read these answers, so the answer is British Bulldog.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Still up by 5, baby.
There you go. He's doing it. All right. At the 1994 Survivor Series, the defending WWF champion was Bret Hart, Diesel, or Yokozuna? Cody.
You said 1994?
1994 Survivor Series.
Yokozuna.
Freddie?
Bob Backlund.
He's not an answer. It's multiple choice. I gave you the option. That was that was incredible, actually. That was unbelievable. That was good. But that's your answer, unfortunately. Sorry, Fred. And I'm going to go with Bret Hart. And the answer is Bret Hart. So I'm the first one who got it. Bret Hart lost to Bob Backlund. That's what you were thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, my God. That was hilarious.
Because Martha threw in the towel.
Exactly.
Cole made her throw in the towel.
That's right. All right.
But then Diesel does win it.
Right. He does. Exactly. He wins it at a house show, though. At the Garden.
2 days later at the Garden.
All right, at the 1990 SummerSlam, Rick Rude's opponent was Roddy Piper, Mr. Perfect, or the Ultimate Warrior. I'll go first. Ultimate Warrior. Freddie?
Ultimate Warrior.
I was gonna say Ultimate Warrior. Maybe you should let me go first, that it doesn't look like I'm taking your.
No, that's part of the question. It's all good. The answer answer is Ultimate Warrior. We all got it right there. Good one. Okay.
Wasn't it in a steel cage too?
Yes, it was.
Oh,
all right, that's right. And now that I think, I forgot about that. All right, at WrestleMania 7, Money Incorporated defended the tag team titles against. This is not multiple choice, so you just have to guess, Freddie.
Oh, wow.
The Natural Disasters.
Cody?
Just count me out.
Okay, he's counted out. I am also going to say the Natural Disasters. And the answer is Natural Disasters. Good job, Freddie. Woo. Way to go, baby. All right, last one. Who sang with Captain Lou Albano on the 1985 wrestling album?
You're joking right now.
This is a good one. I know that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Freddie. You go first. Cyndi Lauper. Go ahead. Cody, any guess?
Cyndi Lauper. Nah. Oh man, I mean, listen, for the fun of it, shit, just give me Cyndi Lauper.
Okay, Cyndi Lauper. I am also going to say Cyndi Lauper. The answer is we're all wrong. The answer is George the Animal Steel.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't even a real. What? They had that man singing?
Okay.
George the Animal Steel. So yeah,
Swerve, bro.
We did get swerved. Holy shoot!
What the hell?
That's fun, man. That's trivia time. I love that one. That's always a good time. All right, we're gonna do one of my favorite things here is doing this next segment. It's called One Has to Go. You're gonna see the best of the best, and one of them has to go. Meaning these are the best of a specific time frame, a wrestler, a gimmick, anything. The best of the best, and one of them no longer exists. You got to pick one, and you got to tell me why. And because both of y'all are from the great state, or the Garden State, New Jersey, I have picked Jersey wrestlers. So wrestlers from New Jersey, some of the best of the best. In the top left, we've got Diamond Dallas Page. In the top right, you've got Bam Bam Bigelow. In the bottom left, we've got AJ Lee. In the bottom right, Liv Morgan. One has to go. Freddie, let me hear you.
Oof, this is tough. I'm going to have to say we got to let go of Liv.
Okay, getting rid of Liv. All right, tell me why.
Well, I just think, Bam Bam is such a historical figure in the wrestling industry. I don't think he reached his potential. Sure. Because of issues he had and whatnot, but, notwithstanding. DDP, he's a legend. And fun fact, I said I watched WCW before WWE. He was my first favorite wrestler.
Amazing.
I was a huge DDP mark.
Oh, good.
He was throwing up bang everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And so I can't have him go. And everything he's doing now, he saved, Scott Hall's life.
Jake the Snake.
Jake's life.
Yeah.
Now Buff Bagwell. And
Scotty Riggs, everybody.
Riggs.
He's helping a lot of people, man.
Just incredible. Plus all the other people that he has aren't famous, right?
Yeah.
So, for everything he's done in the industry, I can't.
Fair enough.
Take him away. And AJ Lee, man. I know she hasn't been around in like 10 years, but when she was there, she was one of the hottest acts they had. Hell, they made her the friggin' general manager of Raw for a while.
Why do you think they got rid of her? Or why do you think she left and never... I understand the Punk thing, but like...
Yeah, I think that's why. She was... That had to be awkward. She was there like a whole year after.
But just disappear from wrestling completely?
Just completely. I know. It was weird. I don't know. I will say I did expect her to go to AEW.
At some point, for sure.
I guess Punk said... Don't come here. This place is a shit show. I'm leaving. I
guess
so.
Amazing.
I do think she'll be back in WWE for one more run.
All right, so you're getting rid of Bam Bam. Okay. Or you're getting rid of Liv. Sorry, you're getting rid of Liv. All right, Cody, Jersey guy. Who you getting rid of, man? Out of those four,
I'm also getting rid of Liv.
Okay.
I got my reasons though.
All right, let's hear it. What do you got?
So again, the overall presence that these other people have already established. You can't just erase that because without them, we arguably don't have a lot of other wrestlers in the industry, right?
Yeah.
AJ Lee was also like a big trendsetter. She was smoking hot. I just got to get that out of the way. She was smoking. So, but listen, even the way that she like portrayed like that crazy character just worked so well for her.
Yeah.
And she kind of like elevated the whole like divas into just the women's era, I feel like. And that's just crazy to me, which I didn't even know that she was actually from New Jersey. Now I'm even more invested in her. She's even more hot to me now. But with Liv, like she hasn't been around long enough to really like, be cemented like in history. Because we're not going to look, forward 20 years from now, if she stopped wrestling today, being like, oh man, like Liv Morgan. You know what I mean? Like some people might, but
sure.
Bam Bam Bigelow, like that was one of the first people I remember from when I was a kid. You can't get rid of DDP. Shout out Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then AJ Lee is just too iconic, bro.
Okay.
So you can't get rid of all of them.
All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Liv as well, and the only reason I'll say Liv is
Liv.
Because
we all got rid of her.
Well, the reason I say that is because she is probably still new out of all those, and I picked them because I wanted to have two divas or two women and two of the others. So, but yeah, I think, Bam Bam was unbelievable as a kid. I have his, Hasbro figure, and DDP. I saw him when WCW came to town. It was awesome. So yeah, just like a fan of those other three. AJ Lee that was during a time when I was like a little disconnected from WWE. I was still watching Ring of Honor. I was watching a lot of New Japan stuff, but I was disconnected from the E at that point. But I know what she did because it's all, you see that a lot. The Ziggler moments, the with Paige, all the stuff that she did, man. Yeah, she really elevated the roster at that point to go from the divas into what really became the women's revolution, right? She was kind of the beginning of that. So that's always good. So yeah, man, it was kind of, one has to go. We all picked Liv. How disappointing. Well, we've gone through the best of the best, but now it's the time to pick the best of the worst. These are our four of the worst things. Before, I've done booking decisions. I've done Undertaker gimmicks. I've done a whole bunch of different stuff. And so this week, again, the Garden State delivers. These are the worst wrestlers from New Jersey. In the top left, you've got Orlando Jordan. In the top right, you've got the DUI queen, Tammy Lynn Stitch, Sunny. In the bottom left, you've got Enzo, and you can't teach that. And in the bottom right, you've got the Blue Meanie. These are some of the worst, quote-unquote, wrestlers from New Jersey. Cody, who you gotta pick one to keep forever.
It's the one to keep.
Now you get to one to keep. The rest of them disappear, but you got to keep one of them.
Okay, so Blue Meanie. That sounds familiar. Am I too young for that?
Yeah, I guess you were. I didn't realize you weren't an
Well,
ECW guy.
but like, listen. All right, has he ever been convicted of a crime?
No.
Was he a good wrestler, or he was just really bad?
He was very entertaining.
Yeah, he was.
Okay,
He was in what was called the BWO, which was the Blue World Order during NWO's thing in WCW. ECW had a thing called the BWO, and it was Supernova Hogan, the Blue Meanie, and oh my God, why am I blanking on who the other one was? God, Stevie Richards. Stevie Richards was big Stevie Cool instead of Big Daddy Cool. He's Big Stevie Cool.
Oh yes,
and it was Hollywood Nova, Big Stevie Cool, and the Blue Meanie.
Okay, so first off, Sonny, isn't she in jail now for?
Oh yeah, I also put her in here because she's maybe the worst person of all time in professional wrestling, potentially next to Chris Benoit.
So we're automatically, getting rid of her.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can't see the picture of the one.
That's okay. No, I'll put it back up. I'll put it back up here. It's Orlando
Enzo,
Jordan.
Enzo.
Okay, you're keeping Enzo?
So no. I'm saying Enzo. He was talking to a minor, wasn't he?
I don't know the whole deal. There's a whole lot of. It's all bad. That's kind of why I picked him.
Proven guilty, but for now we're saying he's guilty.
Sure. And in the top left was Orlando Jordan, who was with
Orlando
JBL.
Jordan. Right. I mean, listen, I remember watching him back in the day, but he really wasn't like. Who did he tag up with back in the day? He
was in JBL's cabinet, and then he went to TNA and wrestled in TNA for a while too.
See, I don't even remember him in TNA. He's not forgettable. Bro, I got to go with the guy I've never even heard of.
All right, so he's keeping Blue Meanie. He's keeping Blue Meanie. I love it.
At least you have that entertainment aspect. Like,
yeah.
Sonny, if she didn't get convicted of all that stuff she did, then she'd be entertaining as with Enzo, but their humanity gets in the way of that. You know what I'm saying? Orlando Jordan was really entertaining. So, what is it? World Wrestling Entertainment, right? We got to go with Blue Meanie.
All right, he's going Blue. I love that. You know what? That is a sound thought process. Fred, what's yours?
I'm going to go with Enzo Amore.
Okay.
I was highly entertained by him. I'm hoping that
I think the thing was that it was supposedly sexual harassment or assault or something. Again, taking that away from it, right? Taking that out of it because we don't know. But
I'm going to go with Enzo because I used to love to hear whatever he was going to say every Monday night, every whatever.
He's 7 foot tall. And you can't teach.
I mean, those guys were over like Rover.
Man, they were. That was unbelievable, right? For two guys that really couldn't wrestle, they were over.
Yeah, they were electric. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I hate to call them a flop, but man, nobody was hotter than them almost at that time period. And then for neither one of them to go anywhere, it's a shame.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Enzo as well because I thought that was super over. I thought he was just unbelievable. I was a huge fan of that. They did the rocket launcher as their finisher. What did they call that back then? The Oh man,
I forget, and I know what it is too.
yeah, something like what's the Liberty statue in New York again? The Statue of Liberty, right? They called it something like New York esque of some sort. But
Of course they did.
yeah, I thought they were.
recall.
Yeah, so I thought that was good. Yeah, Enzo, man, and they were great, dude. Big Bill. Terrible name now, unfortunately, but I'm glad he got his life together. But yeah, those are 4 wrestlers from Jersey. Blue Meanie, I loved the BWO when I was younger. I thought it was so funny, and I hated I didn't know what comedy wrestling was back then. They didn't do that. The comedy wasn't really a thing. And they were the first like comedy wrestlers who did it. Hollywood Nova would do like this Hulk Hogan impression. And Stevie Cool, and then Blue Meanie did a dance. It's like he's like super famous for. You know how the Young Bucks do like the tilt thing?
Yeah.
There's a famous Blue Meanie dance where you like same type of angle and does this little hip thing. You got to look it up, man. The BWO, it's pretty wild.
Oh, I'm definitely looking up
yeah.
clips after that.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with them. But well, with that being said, man, I unfortunately fell short today. Freddie fell short today, and we have got world champ Cody Chows.
Oh, he's got the belt and everything.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man.
Title on, baby.
I'm telling you. So Cody, what we do here, man, very similar to how Around the Horn used to work. You get 60 seconds. Let's hear it, man. 60 seconds to pitch your thing.
Oh God. Okay, wait. What do I have to talk about?
Just anything. It's your rant. You got 50 seconds.
All right. All right. You know what? Fuck it then. We're gonna talk about Braun Breaker. All right.
Okay.
We're talking about Braun Breaker. So Braun Breaker right now, that is the man I'm the most excited for. And like I know we didn't even mention him once during all this, right? But we did mention Scott Steiner. We didn't mention Rick Steiner. But that man has the most potential right now. He's literally a Goldberg if he was actually good at wrestling. Right. Plus, he's working on his promos and everything. He's still young. He's still got time. I mean, he's talking about going after Damian Priest, but I don't think that's going to happen until Damian and Finn go against each other because you could tell there's tension right now. Right. So once that happens, I think Braun is definitely going to go in. Either that or he wastes his time and then goes after Cody. I mean, I would have loved to see him go against Gunther as well since they already had their match in NXT. Braun won that. So that says a lot that he's also one of the big dogs, even if it was, Walter back then as he was wrestling as. But Braun Breaker, dude, he is literally just next up. If they do him right, though, they can't do him wrong. Right now they have him going through as, the jobbers and everything, whatever. Yep. But they need to start putting him up against, like, some real, like, top contenders. Yeah. Getting a little beef or whatever, and it just set that shit up for maybe SummerSlam. You know what I mean? Could happen.
This is the first time we've had a world champion go into I love that. That was great because we don't get to talk about that often. Freddie, what are your thoughts on Braun Breaker, too?
Oh, I'm a big fan of his. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Other than the worst name change of all time.
I mean, why they didn't go with Steiner.
Dude, Braun Steiner? Are you kidding me? Braun Steiner? That is a hit-making...
I don't know. I get it. I mean, I'm used to Braun Breaker now, but doesn't mean that it was the best decision, right?
Sure.
Unless, the old one, too. They don't want you to have to live up to the reputation of...
What is there to live up to? I mean, outside of... You know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, like, they were famous, but they're like... Yeah, I get it. That makes sense, though.
But regardless of the name, I think he's going to be a world champion for sure, and a guy that we talk about as one of the guys.
Sure. Okay. Good stuff.
Should be.
Man, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Cody Chows, thank you, man, for taking time.
Bro, thank you for having me.
I know he's got to leave right now and hit a fast food. I'm sure. What? Tell us what your next content is. Real talk. Real talk. Tell me what. Can you give us a little hint? What's your next? Where are you going to tomorrow or the next day?
So sometimes I record videos in advance.
Okay, obviously, gotcha.
Tomorrow, So I'll tell you what I did. I'm excited about this. So somebody commented on my YouTube and said, "Do you ever have poutine?"
Yeah.
So they said,
I hate it, but it's good. Yeah.
Well, they said go to McDonald's, get the fries, go to KFC, get the gravy, and then go to Buffalo Wild Wings, get the cheese curds. So that's what I did.
And there's that line, young gravy got cheese, now that's poutine.
Yeah. Yo, that'd be a mean caption if I got a picture with good
young gravy, man. I'm here for it. That's amazing. All right, so you're doing that. That's kind of cool. I love that. That's good stuff. Well, Cody, man, thank you again. We do appreciate it. I appreciate you joining here at Around the Mat. We can't wait to have you back. Freddie Fresh, as always, the ticket god. I'm so thankful he's back. I am at the PJ North on all the socials. This is Around the Mat Pod. If you're watching, thank you guys. If you stuck around, we appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, thank y'all so much. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, all that good stuff, leave us a rating, leave us a comment, like and subscribe, do all of those things. And until next time, when we go around the mat.
Hey, yo, fellas, listen, anybody want some Popeyes wings or what?
What, are you fucking kidding me?
Come on, man, get the fuck over here. Let's go.
Is this a real deal?
Yeah, I'm doing a video and everything. Listen, we're just doing this for the tailgate and everything, bro. I just want to.
You want to go promo for promo with each other right now for the vid?
He is saying that. Listen, I'm not good at that shit. I'm just good at the public talking or whatever, but I heard what you were saying, bro. You were spitting. Give him a little something. But listen, but can you do a promo for me, though?
You see, the funny thing is, I showed up here, I showed up with all of my friends, but the one thing I didn't expect to see was Cody Childs. You see, world famous Cody Childs, and you know what he did? He brought the Popeyes wings, and everybody was eating. It's wild time here in Philadelphia. WrestleMania XL has arrived. I'm PJ North, and I wouldn't do it any other way than without Cody Childs. One time for everybody. Everybody saying, Cody Childs. Yeah!
Woo! My man, that was fucking tight.